Hello. Today I'm going to introduce the next module in the Jackrabbit modulus tool chest. I have a basic MACD MA DCA combination version 6. And as you can see, there's already a flow going on. Now, as I've said before, a flow is a process in which trades are already in progress, and this particular one has registered 6 purchases currently. Jackrabbit was built around this entire process of the flow for back testing purposes, but as you can see, when waiting on a flow, it can be very channel bound under certain conditions. And that can, of course, cause a lot of problems when you want to engage or enter into trading. For example, here you can see a very deep difference between the average and the deviation and a channeled sideways movement. Now it does eventually peak off and sell. But if you go to Black Thursday and you look at the long-term depth, for example, August, July, June, this particular channel is quite lengthy before it finally gets to a point of recovery. So here it makes a purchase in April. And then from April, May, June, July, and finally around August. 4 months of channel. 4 months this trade was stuck, going nowhere. This is the downside to the flow method. And sometimes you want to just ignore previous history and get into the market. Like right here, all of this drop has made a real mess. And as you can see, that started around September 7th. So the last purchase here would have been September 4th. But all of this mess up until then. And now we're in a pretty sideways channel again, which looks to be really the bottom of the current market. As you can see when you zoom up, we had a little bit of a rise, then a bit of a drop again, and now we're back to a sideways market. So what can we do to stop this? Well, that is the latest module for Jackrabbit, the Timwe Keeper. So let us go through and find the Timwe Keeper, load it up. Now the Timwe Keeper by itself is a very unique module. It doesn't do much by itself. It's actually not that very bright, except it blocks signals. So we're going to attach it to the DCA module. We're going to attach it to the moving averages module. And now we're going to go to the moving averages, or to the DCA module, tongue-tied here, and we're going to attach it to the Timwe Keeper. So what we've done is we've inserted the Timwe Keeper in between the moving averages and the dollar cost averaging module. The point being that now we can control the dollar cost averaging module. So now let's go in and let's reset this whole mess to today's date. And we watch how it changes. Most importantly, watch how this changes. As you can see, by resetting everything to today's date, all of the previous history that existed is gone. The Timwe Keeper module, when used in this format, will literally help you start a new flow when you want to. The background, red, means it's out of time, so no trades take place. Green means it's in the time window, so trades are allowed to take place. You could set a beginning and an ending time frame for your window. Insert this in between your recipe and your dollar cost averaging module, and it will reset the flow. Now, the granular aspect of this is a bit unusual because I use TradingView time. There's no way for me to really try to tune this to local time, so I don't do any real granular operations. But if you want a new flow altogether, if you set it to the 14th, now it'll reload. Now notice nothing is showing up at all. This gives you time to set your alerts. And then as soon as TradingView's back end triggers at its midnight rollover, it will begin operating, and this will turn green. And it will literally create a new flow, as you saw a second ago. So let's pretend today is the 12th. So on the 12th, nothing took place. No trades whatsoever. As soon as the TradingView server hit midnight, or roughly 1900 hours my time, it activated and trades began occurring. But the way the trades began occurring is that it created a new flow. It completely ignored all historical data and started a new flow from scratch. The downside is if you don't have all of this information saved in your journal, if you have to redo any of it, you're going to lose your historical data, because you cannot reproduce the flow without this information. So when you are building your recipes and you want to force start your flow, make sure you record all of this information, because you could, in essence, limit to just one single 30-day period. So if you don't want your trading to actually occur in a long-term process, you can actually limit it. As you can see, let's find a time frame that's easy to see. Here we go. Out of time, out of time, the very short, limited, narrow window of time that this is allowed to occur. So this is perfect if you want to only trade for a certain window for an analysis, and you want to see how well your algorithm is going to do. There are a lot of different contexts that this system can be used in. But basically, whenever you want to interrupt the flow and start a new flow, this is how you use it. Normally, the moving averages would go straight to the dollar cost averaging. Now, the moving averages goes to the timekeeper, and then the timekeeper goes to dollar cost averaging. Simple and efficient. But remember, no prior history for backtesting. None. You have no backtesting history, no way of analyzing the results, as long as you have the timekeeper in effect. So you need to be aware of that the timekeeper can cause problems. Now let's reset this and make the timekeeper back to its default state. And you will see the flow has been restored. So you can experiment and see just when and how to start your trading if you want to override the flow or the metrics of a particular system. This is a handy tool of getting rid of a bad market situation, like Black Thursday. Nobody wants to deal with Black Thursday when a coin is still stuck in a sideways channel. XRP comes to mind. This can help you deal with that problem. XRP has had many good trading moments, but because of its channel problems, it has been horrendous to deal with. That is where you can deal with this problem efficiently. So let's see just how bad the channel really is. As you can see, let's go to the 1 hour time frame because we can travel back quite a bit. Okay. We have August, July, June, 3, 4, 5 months of a stuck channel where this coin is just not going anywhere fast, and it's just making a bad situation worse. It finally broke in the middle of August. But for 5 months, this coin went absolutely nowhere. Well, now you can do something about that. Now, we can make it work for us. Now that the market has recovered, we can ignore all of the previous history and actually pick up on a situation that might be beneficial and completely ignore all of this. So now with a sideways channel rut, we don't have to worry about it. We can actually get in at a good time and maybe, just maybe, get a good, reasonable profit out of what is normally a very difficult coin. This is something that you don't need always. Timekeeper is a special purpose module for special situations. It might help, it might not help, but most importantly, always run an analysis without it first. So there you have it, the Timekeeper. Until next time.